What's up everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at this 2024 Cadillac CT5V. Huge shout out to Randy Marion Cadillac for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. So this V model has a very unique color to it, celebrating 20 years of the V. This is the Black Diamond Tri-Coat, which has a very nice metallic finish to it. MSRP for this V is also just over $51,000. And this is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo V6 paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out 360 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the rear wheels, propelling this 3,900-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. It has a top speed of 156 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17 gallons. You'll expect to see around 18 miles per gallon in the city, 27 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 116 inches. Its overall length is 193.8. It has a width of 74.1 and a height of 57.2 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for the CT5V, let's start off with this paint color. The Black Diamond gives it a very good look to it, especially out in this sunlight with all of the metallic flakes. Hopefully the camera can pick this up. It is a very beautiful color, but up front, the Cadillac badge is also the sensor for the adaptive cruise, and on this model, everything is blacked out. The surround for the grille, as well as the mesh for the grille itself, and the entire lower section. Now this also has sensors up front and LEDs for the headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. Cadillac is known for having that vertical design for the turn signal and DRL. It is also split with some body work in the middle, so it gives it a fantastic look. This also has a very nice set of 19-inch wheels with the multi-spoke design to them, and then the Cadillac V brakes are just behind that in a similar gray to the wheels. Now there's also another V badge just underneath this side mirror, which has the turn signal, gloss black in the lower section. This has a full sunroof up top. All of the window trim is blacked out as well, and hopefully the camera can pick this up. It is stunning in this angle with the sunlight, but it has a great design to it for this sedan. And in back, there's a small trunk mounted spoiler. There's all the badges, backup camera with all the sensors. The reverse light is down in the lower diffuser there with the quad tip dual exhaust on both sides. Now this does have remote start, so if we lock it, double tap this, we'll bring it to life. And then if you hold on this button, that is how you can shut it off if needed. You can use the key fob to open up the trunk, or you can just use the button to the right of the backup camera to open that up. Now this is pretty spacious in the back. There's a cubby on that passenger side, a little bit of storage underneath the floor if you need to place some smaller items there. There's battery access on that left side, and then you can even fold down the back seats to give yourself that much more interior space, and there's one grab handle over on that right side. So it's a very practical daily driving sedan with the amount of space that is located in the back. Now you'll notice too, all the door handles have ambient lighting, and then the control to open up the door is actually on the inside. The door handle is fixed to the door panel itself. Now this has the Bose audio as well as carbon fiber accents. There's the window adjustments, leather stitching, and a little bit of storage down below. And then the leather works its way to the seats, where there's even more of that brown stitching. And at 5'10", there's plenty of space in the back. There's storage pockets, you have your vents along with some auxiliaries there, plenty of room down below, and my head is just up against the headliner. So it's comfortable. I could easily sit back here and go for a drive. Right in the middle, there's the armrest with 2 cup holders, and then a good bit of visibility. Now there's also the sunshade for the rear passengers, so you can open and close that from up front if you want a little bit more light for your passengers in the back. Now you'll notice too, on this door panel, we have the Cadillac badge right there. That is how you can lock the vehicle, so just swipe your finger on that when you leave the vehicle. Now the door panel up front has the memory seating controls, all of the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments, trunk release, more carbon fiber and brushed aluminum. The V badge is also down on the door sill, and we have a little bit more bolstering support for these front seats. They are automatic with the exception of the manual adjustment for that leg support. As you can tell, it is all the way out at the moment. And now we can move on to the solid black leather steering wheel with a lot of brushed aluminum accents. On this left side, there's voice command, Bluetooth. We have the heated steering wheel control, distance pacing, and cruise control. This also has paddle shifters as well. And then we have volume, tuning, a few other controls to go through for that gauge cluster, as well as V mode. But let's fire this back up and take a listen to this Cadillac. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, you'll notice front and center, there's miles per hour along with what gear you're in. On the right side, there's some more info that you can scroll through using the buttons on the right side of the steering wheel. So there's some trip information that we can scroll through. Then I can use the arrows to go over all of the performance, where you have a lot that you can look at. 0 to 60s, lap timers, G-force meters. You can also pull up your driver assistance. You have audio, nav, along with phone, and maintenance, so you can monitor all these vitals as needed. And then there's also options, so you can go into all of this and configure it as you would like to. Simplify is to hide all of that information. And then we have to scroll all the way back to the left, where we can get into some more info here that you can pull up for some of your favorites. Now on the left side, you'll notice the time, temperature, entire lower section also has some more info. Now if I push on the V button, you will notice that the entire gauge cluster will change, and you can personalize this, and you still have some info that you can scroll through on that right side. So it's very neat to see that. And then over on the left side, there's all the head-up display adjustments, dimmer switch, e-brake. You can even put in an SD card as well. I believe that's for the PDR, which is the performance data recorder. But with that head-up display, currently it is showing just miles per hour. We can also pull up the tach, and then you have your compass and audio that you can view too. There's more leather up on the dash there. And then for the infotainment system, it is angled away from the driver. Very interesting to see that. But nonetheless, we have all of these icons and apps to go through, including the split view. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Here's that PDR for that data SD card that you can put in. So you can monitor all of that with the cameras that are in the vehicle and quickly be able to watch that and pull it back up. There's your climate adjustments and then shortcuts down below to further get into all this information. There's also a home button right in the middle. We have more of that metallic trim just underneath that. Now this also has heated and ventilated seats. There's the parking sensors, lane keeping assist, and then you'll notice too that all of these controls come to a V right at the fan speed. We have where you like the air to go, temperature dials, and then everything else for the climates. Now there's also wireless charging down below. This has the engine start stop, auto hold, traction control, and there's a few different driving modes. So you can go between touring, sport, track, snow and ice, and you can customize those as needed, which is nice to see. Now looking at the shifter, we'll just push this forwards. That is for reverse, where you have a pretty good sized camera. If we go into drive now, pull it one more time without that release. Now you have manual, just allows you to use those paddle shifters, and then park is located on top. Now behind that, there's power and volume for the radio as well as tuning, and a bunch of shortcuts for that infotainment system. So you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system, and you can use the controls that are down below. Now there's a little bit of space over on that one side, and when I open up, now we have a good bit of space for the center armrest. You could place another phone there, which is nice, and then you can easily lift it out. And then we have some auxiliaries on that left side. More carbon fiber on the passenger side with all that space in the glove box. And then up top, there's garage door buttons, as well as the sunshade adjustments for both front and rear. And then as far as visibility goes, it's a sedan, so it's what you would expect for this style vehicle, being able to see over both shoulders. As we set off now behind the wheel for the 2024 Cadillac CT5, there are a few different options that you can go with for the CT5 in general. You can go up to the Blackwing, which steps it up a little bit more in performance than the V series that we're in right now. So I'm gonna call this kind of the middle of the trim level between that Blackwing and a base 5 series or a CT5. Now I've been able to drive these a good bit. I think it's a really good luxury focused, performance oriented sedan. If you're looking for a little bit more of that luxury vibe, it rides and handles just like a Cadillac would. So I really like basically the drive that you're going to get in this. And if you want to add a little bit of performance, you can do that as well. Now I just put it into V mode. We have it in sport mode for the paddles. We got some pops. And that exhaust, I was not expecting to hear that. It's not loud. It's something that's going to be annoying, of course. Being in this Cadillac, you want it to be a nice, smooth ride, and it is. It's very comfortable. Not a lot of noise when you're just under cruising speeds. We don't have any in the downshifts, though. So it just appears to be the ups. That's pretty cool. It doesn't seem to happen every time, but it's a little bit of that sportiness for this model. And with another acceleration, that sounds so good. But driving it now, this is just over $50,000. Seems pretty reasonable for what you are getting, the power that this has, and then just being a Cadillac in general. It's right around the average price of a brand new vehicle for 2024. So this isn't anything kind of out of the ordinary if you're looking to get into something luxury focused. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than some other manufacturers, but as far as what you are getting, it's going to cost less than some European or other luxury focused companies. So you're kind of right in that middle ground, which I can see where this is going to have that appeal. You want to spend a little bit more, but you're not looking to jump to that next level, and you get a very nice interior. And these paddles do a really good job. They're very quick, so if you want to use them, it again just gives you that added sporty driving that you are looking to get if you're going with this CT5. And from sport mode, second gear, here we go. Those pops sound so good. I do wish it did it on the downshifts as well, but nonetheless, they are there. You can also tone this completely back too. So with our different driving modes, if we just go into touring mode, it is going to act just like a normal sedan. We can put it back into a normal drive there, and it's what you expect for a daily driver. Now, as far as being a daily driver, talking about its turning radius, we have a very tight road right here that is a great test for its maneuverability. So if we go off just a little bit, it's not all that bad. We have pretty good steering or turning for that, and then just in a normal setting, we'll give it an acceleration. No pops. It's nice and smooth, getting up to the speed limit there. Plenty of power for this Model 2 without jumping up to the Blackwing. But if you want the power, if you want the manual transmission too, I don't believe you can get it in this, but with the Blackwing, you can also get a manual transmission as an option. But driving this $50,000 sedan, this is what I would expect to see. We have some very nice materials. If there's plastic, it is covered with the leather here, which this feels like normal leather. So for this price, for the interior, it's a very nice setup. And you have plenty of space. It's just an overall good sedan. If you're looking for a family vehicle, you want a little bit more luxury, this is a great option to go with. So one more acceleration for today. And that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Cadillac CT5V. Once again, a huge shout out to Randy Marion Cadillac for providing this for me today. Check out their website. Also give this video a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.